This morning's story comes to us from WGNTV.com. The Chicago police officer who fatally shot Anthony Alvarez in March has been stripped of his police powers.
The Chicago police officer who shot and killed Anthony Alvarez back in March in the Portage Park neighborhood has been stripped of his police powers, but this comes months after the Civilian Office of Police Accountability made the same recommendation. Police Superintendent David Brown announced that Officer Evan Solano, the officer who shot and killed Alvarez, was stripped of his police powers.
Civilian Office of Accountability recommended 2 months ago that Solano be stripped of his powers. Solano fatally shot 22-year-old Anthony Alvarez during a foot chase in Portage Park on March 31st. Body camera footage shows Alvarez was walking near a gas station and carrying a gun. Although he did not raise or point it during the chase, he was shot in his back and left knee. Alvarez later died at the hospital.
I know, because of the rain, I think.
Anthony Alvarez's family returning to a memorial in Portage Park just steps from where he was shot and killed by a CPD officer in March.
This is a step. We're just not where we want to be. This was good news for us. It's still a little bit frustrating because we know that he's still gonna be getting paid. They say about him having a gun, but that's why there's a court system, that's why there's laws. It's a little bit upsetting that it took them this long, even after COPA recommended for Solano to be stripped off his duty.
But that is not enough for the Alvarez family.
We're going to keep pushing for justice, and like I said, justice for us means that he gets criminal charges. Y las rosas también, they're like that. They're sad.
Now, apparently the same officer, Solano, was involved in another incident, as well as a separate incident. Just after 6 p.m. on May 21st of this year, 2 men got into a screaming match while driving in the 2900 block of West Logan Boulevard. Witnesses pulled out their cell phones and recorded as the situation escalated. The driver in the white SUV got out of his vehicle and confronted the man driving a red Ford Mustang, believed to be Chicago police officer Evan Solano. Solano is currently under investigation for the fatal shooting of Anthony Alvarez on March 31st in Portage Park.
Officer Solano's body camera shows him running down an alley. The same day this video evidence was released by the agency that investigates police shootings, eventually around a corner onto a front lawn near Laramie and Eddy. Alvarez has a gun in one hand and a cell phone in the other. It was also recommended that Solano be stripped of his police powers as the investigation played out. Superintendent Brown didn't take any action until now, months later.
One witness said the police officer with his gun out exited the vehicle, went around the white car, and followed where the other guy was going. Solano is then seen with a gun in his hand, while the other man is heard telling him there are children in the car.
Put the gun away, man. Come on. Holster your gun.
Last month, in a separate incident, cell phone video surfaced showing Officer Solano pull his gun in what is described as a road rage incident in Logan Square. The officer is now stripped of his power.
Stephen Fine, the Alvarez family attorney, said, "What we see is an officer who is an undisciplined, out of control, and someone who escalates a confrontation rather than following any de-escalation training he received." Attorneys for the Alvarez family plan to use these videos in a civil case against the officer, who is on extended administrative duty following the shooting investigation. Attorney Fine said, "Obviously he's under the microscope from the Alvarez incident, but he still cannot control himself to the point where he is no longer putting other individuals in danger. Clearly he's not understanding the significance of his behavior, and he should be separated from the department."
We asked for additional information from COPA. We received that and reviewed it, and we've stripped him of his police powers. I don't have any further comment.
Now, although stripped of his police powers, Solano will continue to collect a paycheck. We are live from CPD 16th District. Charlie DeMar, CBS 2 News.
In fact, we know that his police powers were pulled, even though he's still collecting a paycheck. But, the thing is, Chicago is cleaning house, it sounds like, for a few months now. Now, remember I did a story on Dallas where 3 officers were arrested. Now we're going to Chicago for the next few days to talk about some police officers in the Chicago Police Department that are being stripped. Chicago's cleaning house. And I know that there's going to be a lot of criticism on Superintendent David Brown, and a lot of people are asking why it took so long. COPA recommended that his police powers be stripped, but it took this long, and people are really coming down on Superintendent David Brown. Now, I'm not trying to defend David Brown in any way, but in his defense, you have to remember he has a union backing that police officer. If David Brown takes action and it's premature action before the union gets a chance to do something, or have their say, then of course we know that the union can not only get him his job back with back pay, but he could also sue for, wrongful whatever and stuff. So Superintendent David Brown is pretty much, the police chief isn't really the chief. I'm starting to learn that with these editorials. The police chief isn't really the chief. You know who the chief of police is? That union. That union that's backing those people. You know who the sheriff of a county is? That union that's backing those officers. So I'm starting to learn that. So don't come down too hard on David Brown yet until we get more information on why it took him so long. I'm guessing because he didn't want the union to usurp any decisions that he made or would make. So there you go. This officer stripped of his police powers. Over the next 2 days, I'm going to talk about 2 other Chicago police officers as well. And there's a few of them we're going to talk about here in the next couple of days. You guys are going to be like, whoa. Now, if you're from Chicago, you're going to be like, yeah, I already knew that. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you for watching on this Tuesday. Remember, don't tune away. Stay subscribed, or you're going to miss what's going on in Chicago Police Department over the next couple of days.